All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 3, I think. Is it day 3? Yes, it is day 3. Day 3 of Rome. And, yeah, it rained yesterday on and off. Luckily, we got through. But, today, I think the weather is also going to be a little bit shitty. So that's fun. But it's not going to rain. It's not going to be as bad as yesterday. Yesterday, they had to cancel the last match of the day. But it might just be a little bit interrupted. Hopefully it won't be anything off for, getting cancelled or anything. But let's see what Berrettini Popyrin can do. Now, look, I know I say I don't watch Aussies, but sometimes there's matches where you just they're just too, this is a great matchup. Berrettini and Popyrin is a good match, which is annoying because Poppy hasn't been in great form, and obviously Berrettini is also looking to get back in form. Both are way down the rankings. They should be higher ranked. But yeah, it's just one of those matches where it's like, I have to just pretend not to be Australian, and that's fine. 3-1 is the head-to-head in favor of Berrettini. The matches they've played as well have all been really close. Close straight sets, or in one of the cases, a 4-set match at the US Open a few years ago. They've never played on the clay. Both, I would say, I don't think they're clay quarters, but they definitely like clay. Popyrin likes playing on clay, so does Berrettini. So here we are. Also, Andreeva taking on Ružić. That's happening right now as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Buksha versus Zhang is also happening at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Berg's Atman is another one, and there's other matches as well. Today's pretty stacked, though. We do have Sabalenka Krejcikova, last match of the day. Okay. And in the middle, between now and that match, we've got Gauff Valentova, which I'm excited to see, because Valentova's, I like the way that she plays, and I like the energy that she brings to the court. So that's going to be really fun against Coco. And we also got Tsitsipas versus Mahatch. Winner plays Medvedev. So we're going to see that, because we're probably going to watch Medvedev versus one of those guys in a couple of days. Also, Andreescu Bencic is a match, which may or may not be on the card. We can watch that maybe as well, depending on how things play. But yeah, there are some interesting. Oh, and Anisimova versus Ostapenko is another matchup as well, which is crazy. So we'll keep an eye on all of those things as well. Depending on how fast or slow we get through these matches, we might add some of those matches as well. But yeah, it is a pretty stacked, crazy day. So yeah. So let's go. And then tomorrow is all the men's seeds start to play. So the bottom half of the draw for the men play. So it's Zverev and Djokovic play tomorrow. So it's going to start getting crazy. It is going to start getting real hectic. I am watching an Australian, yes. Penko versus Anisimova match of the day. Yeah, so that's definitely on the cards. It just depends on how the other matches sort of progress. So we'll see. If we might switch from Coco Valentova into the other one, depending on how long it takes for Senate Court, but we'll see. Hey Cam, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Today, oh my god, the weather today has been terrible. In the best way. I love rain and crappy weather. So yeah. So it's been we had hail and thunder and then just rain on and off all day. It's been crazy. It's been cold as well, which I like. What am I drinking? I'm drinking sludge. Hopefully it's good, healthy. No, it's just matcha. Tastes good. God, it's chilly. But yeah, it's been the weather's been really crappy. Popyrin in 2 sets, please. Penko is tearing up on clay. She's one of my faves for this. Oh, fair enough. By the way, chat, ATP Fantasy. Anybody got Berrettini? Anybody got Popyrin? I know people probably have Berrettini. He's pretty. I had Berrettini up until recent times. But does anyone have Berrettini? And also Poppy. I mean, Poppy was pretty underpriced as well. But I wouldn't go near him. You got Bouzer? Oh, okay. Interesting. I only have Tsitsipas playing today. And then tomorrow I got Zverev. And I think Hadar's playing tomorrow. So yeah, things get pretty crazy tomorrow. Tsitsipas Kaboli, feeling nervous, okay. Yeah, the Tsitsipas one is going to be interesting. Have a lot of people got Steph? Let me check. 17%, so not many. How many? So Rude's the okay. So 70, pretty much 70% have Sinner. Not many people have Zverev, which is interesting. Then Fonseca is number 2, Hadar is number 5, and Rude is number 4. So wait, who's number 3 then? Who's the third most picked? By the way, Djokovic is the 30th most picked. That can't be right. They haven't updated that, surely. Wait, is Kaboli the third pick? No, 8th. Musetti, 7th. Oh, it must be Feast, right? Okay, Feast is third most picked. People still kept Feast after this for this week? That seems a bit risky. I mean, that seems counterintuitive. Are you guys talking fantasy tennis or something? Yes, we are. You got Djokovic in your team? Yeah. I feel like Djokovic in your team is either going to be... Look, if he loses, it's going to be maybe a 1 week too early kind of move. Or if he goes far, you're going to be a genius, right? I mean, people are going to be wishing they did the same. And I'm going to be wishing I did the same. And like a lot of people at the end of the week, I think if Djokovic does make the semis and do what he does, then I think a lot of us are going to be just like, of course he did. He's the GOAT. What do you expect? But if he loses, it's probably not the worst thing either, right? Because if he loses, it's like, maybe you just got him a little early. He's only going to get better. Obviously, Roland Garros is going to be fine. Like, it's probably like, it's really kind of a win-win. If he doesn't do great, then, it sucks for this week, but he's eventually going to do well. I got rid of Fonseca and Feast, actually. Yeah, I got rid of Feast because of the Sinner friendly fire. I kept Fonseca because I would be a hypocrite if I talked him up and then I ditched him. No, that's not true. I would be, though. But I would... but I just want to have Fonseca on my team. I feel more comfortable with him in my team. Couldn't get rid of Feast. See, Gene, you have the same thing, right? You're like... I probably shouldn't have this guy in my team for this week, but also he's my favorite, so I've got to keep him. It's probably not the best way to go about it. Like, that's an emotional pick, but hey, screw it. Maybe it works out. Maybe Sinner loses the Menchik and then Feast goes into the semis or something. Either way, it's going to be a fun week. I think this week's going to be really interesting. Am I not watching Tsitsipas match? That match is starting in like 4 hours. So yes, but it's not on right now, so not really. I have him on my bench. Hey, look, on the bench is fine. I wanted to get Hadar, so I had to get rid of him. Feast is 4th in the race to the finals, and he hasn't played he didn't play the Australian Open, so it means he's doing well. Oh yeah, hoping for Menchik versus Sinner and Eala versus Raducanu. Yeah, we want those matches too. Those are going to be some real fun matches if we get them. All right. Sunshine out in Rome, so that's good. That's a good start to the day. We got some sun. Who do I think will win? I think Berrettini will win. Look, I'm realistic. I think Berrettini wins. Popyrin's not been in good form at all. And Berrettini at home, it's Berrettini should win. That's why if Popyrin wins, I'll be super ecstatic and so excited. But I think Berrettini wins. I bought Musetti and Rude this week. Oh, okay. Can you please explain to me fantasy tennis? Sorry if this has been asked before. That's all right. You basically got to pick 8 players. You get 100 coins. Each player is worth different amounts based on their ranking. So the number 1 in the world is worth 40 coins, and it goes down from there. So all you got to do is you got to pick, and here's the website, and here's join the league as well if you want to make a team. It's not too late. You can make a team, and if your team does well on grass, you can still win prizes and stuff like that. So, but you pick 8 players. 6 players go onto your field or you're on your court, and then the two other players go onto your alternates bench, so they don't count for your scores. And you just got to pick with those 100 coins. Pick the team that you think is going to, the players that you think are going to go the furthest in the tournament. And then there's a bonus ball, which is double points. So if you put, let's say you put Jannik Sinner on that, then he get double points for that week. Whoever has that bonus ball. That's pretty much it. And then over the week, your team accumulates points based on their results. The further they go in the tournament, the better their points. The more aces they hit, the better their points. If they lose in the first round, that's not great. But that's pretty much it. It's fun. And also, I'll tell you what it does. I'll tell you what it really does. And this is when I used to play like fantasy football and stuff, it got me into watching way more games because I'm an Essendon supporter. I'm talking about Australian football, but I'm sure it's the same with soccer. But if you had like a player of a different team, you'd probably want to watch that. I used to always watch like other matches because I wanted to see how they would go. Because even if I had one player from that one team, I'd watch that one team, even though if they're not my favorite team. So hopefully it'll get you watching more tennis matches. This kid is in absolute shock of being in the stadium. He's just like, wow, that's so cool. I do like the fact that they what a great moment for those kids, and they do it like all the tournaments do it. It's so cool that the players like walk out with one of the kids. Sometimes it's from a different, sometimes it's from a charity, sometimes it's from sometimes the ball kids or some tennis kids or whatever. Great ideas. Anyways, yeah, but so for example, if you have Berrettini in your team, you might watch Berrettini because you just want to see how he does, even if you never used to be a Berrettini fan. So you might find yourself watching matches that you never thought you'd watch because you just have a player from, you have a player in your team, right? So hopefully we watch all the tennis all the time anyway, but I find myself keeping track of matches that I wouldn't normally keep track. Like, why would I keep track of Echeverry matches in the first round? That's not really normal for me to do, but I did because, he was in my team. Same with Tabilo, right? So you kind of find yourself watching matches that you probably wouldn't normally watch because you just want to see how your team is going, right? All right, players on court. And we're ready to go. But yeah, definitely jump in. 100% Cam. That's why I think it's a missed opportunity for ATP not to have more ATP 250 events for this season for fantasy to get more interest in eyeballs and small events. Yeah, that's true. Later in the year that'll happen. After Wimbledon, a lot of people will not continue playing or they'll forget to play because there's 3 weeks after Wimbledon before we start getting into the American stuff that no one's going to pay attention to. Those clay events, after Wimbledon, July 13, you've got a couple of clay court events, you've got a couple of hard court events later, and then most people are going to take July off this fantasy. For 3 weeks, they're going to take it off, and that's when a lot of people are going to drop. But yeah, those are the ones that they're going to be a lot of people are going to focus on Wimbledon, obviously, but then after that, it's going to be Oh, those aren't in the game? Oh, really? I did not know that. So wait, so those don't count. Oh, that is a missed opportunity. Wow. Okay, so oh man, that sucks. So I guess the hard court season is not. Wow, I got to read the rules. Oh, that's such a shame. That's a shame. We should all get rewarded for paying attention to it every week too. So does that mean after Wimbledon there's like 2 weeks of no fantasy tennis? That seems interesting. That seems strange. Maybe they'll incorporate next year. Yeah, that's weird. That's strange. But I guess it is. I mean, it would be confusing to call it the North American hardcourt season if they weren't North American hardcourt matches. Oh, so you have 2 weeks and then it starts back in Washington. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. I didn't know that. No, well, there you go. By the way, Chad, if you want to get some fantasy tennis tips, go check out Expected Aces channel because I skimmed over all the rules and I didn't even know half the rules there. So go check out Josh at Expected Aces. You'll know way more by watching these videos. Dash is out? Wait, what? Out of what? Did she lose yesterday? See, Chad, I went to sleep. When it started raining, I'm like, I'm out of here. Did Dasha lose yesterday? That's all right. She lost to McNally. Look, I'd rather Dasha lose to McNally and me not know about it than her play Swiatek and we have to watch it. So she won a tournament last week. We're still riding high, the Dasha fan club. We're fine. Everything's fine. I'd rather not watch her lose to McNally than watch her lose to Swiatek badly. Anyway, we got Joint and Demonor and Gibson won, so that's fun. And so did Vukic. He beat Gibson, so that's good. And Popyrin's going to win today. Right? I'm sure he's going to watch. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's going to win today. Why WTA not have this game cam? It's because the WTA and the ATP are different organizations and they run things differently. That's why you don't get tennis TV on WTA matches on tennis TV because they're two different. They run two different websites. They're two different organizations, so they do two different things. Sometimes they overlap, right? But for the most part, they do things independent of each other. So the WTA are not doing a fantasy. They're not doing ATP fantasy, right? Because it's an ATP men's tennis tour thing, right? Speaking of tennis TV, go download the new app if you want to watch these matches on. You can watch these matches on the app. Could low-key see McNally causing Swiatek problems? Yeah, I mean, if it was in Madrid, I'd say yes. But in Rome, slower conditions, probably maybe not. Swiatek should win. But then again, Collins beat her last year here, so maybe. There you go. Thank you, Zep. Appreciate it. But yeah, we're collaborating with them for the rest of the year, so go sign up. They don't show the WTA though, and they don't show the Grand Slams. So if you want to watch the French Open, Wimbledon, unfortunately, the ATP can't show that on tennis TV, but they show everything else. Rome, next week in Hamburg and Geneva as well. All the grass court warm-ups, and then everything up until the US Open as well. And then obviously you can watch ATP Finals, right? So all the 1000s are on there. On the men's side, you can watch all of that stuff. Plus, they've got a bunch of features on the app as well. Like scores and highlights and all that kind of stuff too. All right, here we go. Let's get this started. Cam, even at work, I'm browsing the internet. Don't get in trouble now. Like I said last week, we got to put this on the second monitor and hiding them behind like something because you don't need to watch the stream. You can listen to the stream in the background. So like, I don't want to get you fired. I don't want people to come across and go, "What are you doing over there?" You don't have to watch. Don't watch the stream. Don't type in the chat either, because otherwise you'll get. I don't want you to get in trouble. All right, here we go. It's going to be Berrettini and Popyrin. I have no idea who's serving. I wasn't paying attention. Anyone can beat Mirra. She's just been lucky. I've got to be honest. Out of 10, that was a 1 out of 10 take. But yeah. Hey, look, sometimes I say crazy shit too. All right. Poppy with his nose strip. I don't know what is going on. just in general. But with Poppy looks so different. He's got the nose strip. His facial hair is different. He's kind of like in need of a haircut. I don't know what's going on with Popyrin. He's just kind of just like letting it. Yeah, Poppy just got like a different look going on. He's wearing a hat. Does he usually wear a hat? Does he? I don't remember. We haven't watched Poppy for so long. We haven't watched him since he beat Djokovic at the US Open. Does he usually wear a hat? I can't remember. He's going to win, right? Right? Maybe. Hey, he won the first point, 15-love. I'm going to go Berrettini in 3, though. I hope I'm wrong. He wears a cap? Does he? Does he, though? Maybe. Does he always wear a cap? I don't know. He just looks different. Anyways. 15-love. There's a forehand now from Berrettini into the forehand of Popyrin. Berrettini forehand up the line. Poppy backhand. Into the slice of Berrettini. Popyrin with a forehand again. Into the backhand of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand again to the Berrettini backhand. Up the line's good. Popyrin gets on the stretch but hits it long. 15-0. Most of the time. Okay. I haven't watched him for a minute, so. Do you remember how bad Mirra was last year? I haven't forgotten. I'll tell you what you sound like. You sound like a bit of a scorned better. Am I right? Did she cost you money? Forehand winner for Berrettini, man. He's throwing the hammer already. Don't blame her for your decisions. 15-30. Andreeva's already up an early break. There you go. You got 500 on Atman at even money. Oh, okay. So okay. Yeah, don't blame the players on your gambling habits, all right? You made the decision. Mirra Andreeva didn't press bet on. She didn't even tell you to bet on her, right? She didn't say, hey, I'm a sure thing. You bet on me. You did that. Come on now. Come on. You gotta take responsibility, man. Uh, 15-30. As a return from Berrettini goes wide. Good serving Poppy. 30-all. Zheng's already up a break as well. Nice. The 30-all. Nice match pick. I concur. 30-all. First serve a fault, second serve. By the way, chat again. Who has Berrettini in their team? Even if they haven't, do you have him as an alternate, or does anyone have Popyrin? There's been a return from Berrettini to the fence, and it's 40-30. I love all the players. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Andreeva's playing great. She's back and better than ever. If Zheng wins, she plays the winner of if she wins, she'll play Anisimova or Penko. That's crazy. 40-30. That's a crazy schedule. Sorry, it's a crazy lineup. As a return goes in the net by Berrettini and Poppy holds. 1-love Popyrin. First set. Looked at Berrettini as old, but his draw is a bit tough. If I'm not wrong. Well, yeah, I mean, it starts, I think the winner of this will play, we'll play Menchik, and then the winner of this versus Menchik will play Sinner, most likely. So it's a pretty horrible draw. But as an alternate, Berrettini on the bench, I mean, if he wins this and he beats Menchik and plays Sinner, he's going to get some points. I had Berrettini, but then I got rid of him because I needed to get who do I need to get? I need to get to make some space for him to get Rude and other players that I got the other week. All right, here we go. Berrettini to serve. Poppy wins the first game, 1-love. As return goes in to the drop shot of Berrettini. Berrettini puts it away. Nice. Nice shot. 15-love. Kecimanovic already up a break 2-love. You got Berrettini on the bench. Yeah. See, the thing with Berrettini is that he's only going to get better. And plus, we know how great he is on grass. So, like, he might not, like, you know, go up to, like, top 50 on clay. But once he hits that grass, he could win, like, 2 of the 3, starting events and then get to Wimbledon and make the quarters. Like, and that's going to boost his ranking into, like, top 30 or 20 again. Like, Berrettini is, like we know how good he is. And we've seen that at times, on the grass. So all right, 15. Oh, there's Berrettini with a fault second serve. Arsenal's going to lose to PSG. Good one. Nice try. Popyrin hits it out, 30-15. Berrettini's got Thomas Enqvist as the coach, who I think coached Tsitsipas for a minute, and he's obviously been the Labour Cup coach for a while as well. He was a Labour Cup assistant for like 6 years with Borg. There's a drop shot winner from Berrettini, 40-15. This chat is odd, not replying to questions, but then saying ransomly comparison. I have no idea what that you said. Yeah, we don't really talk about betting because we're not really a betting channel, and what I say or what I don't say is nothing to do with your gambling habits. So we don't really get into betting, so that's why we're not a betting channel. So we don't really get into like who's the money line and blah 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 because we don't know. All right, 1-1, and we're not focusing on that either. I have PSG to win. Now, Ryan, you've been a member for 4 years. I'll allow it. 1-1. 1-1. There's no chance Arsenal is lifting Champions League, bro. Are you always this annoying? Or just today? You've been timed out 6 times. Tell me, are you a PSG fan or are you a Man City fan who's crying that you won't win again? Poor Man City. Like, you need more. You don't have enough trophy space. Get over it. Build another trophy cabinet and then come back, all right? Better luck next year. 15-love. Man City. It's not my fault you choked against Everton. You got enough trophies. Give us one. Chelsea fan. Oh, boo freaking who? Chelsea fan? Bro, I thought you went on holiday like 6 months ago. What are you doing here? You're still keeping up to date with the football? Bro, what are you wasting? I thought you... Chelsea? Pfft. You're just upset you're not going to make Champions League next year. Wait, aren't you out of the Europa League? I don't think... Aren't you at like mid-table? Bro, you're talking shit? Come on. Great shot from Berrettini, by the way. Come on, Chelsea fan. By the way, I lived with a Chelsea fan, and he was annoying as hell. And also lived in southwest London. I remember every time I'd go out and there would be a Chelsea game on, there'd just be blue shirts everywhere, just getting in the way. It's a pain in the ass. Chelsea. Oof. Well, can you do us a favour and just beat Man City? That'd be great. Thanks. Oh, no, actually, no, beat Tottenham because we want them to get relegated. Please. Please. Do it for the league. Just win your matches, all right? I feel bad now. just beat Liverpool and beat Tottenham, please. I hope your team wins the next. Oh, Chelsea will beat Arsenal. Okay, well, okay. We'll relax, all right, buddy? You had your day in the sun, all right? Now it's our time. London, the streets are red, all right? In London, all right? There's a bit of backhand winner there from Berrettini. All right, Poppy couldn't do enough with that half volley. 30-0. The streets are running red in London, all right? Blue's over. The blue wave is dead, all right? As we get to 30-0 here, Poppy in trouble. Let's talk tennis. Exactly. Yes, let's. Good one. Yes, I agree. I concur. We'll talk about Arsenal's wins later. As we get a point now from Popyrin, that goes out. Berrettini's got a break point here, 30-40. My Berrettini's brother in the house as well. He plays tennis. All right, 30-40. How is doing fantasy odd? It's a very normal game. Wait, who said that? All right, first serve is Alette. Yeah, Gauff's playing today. Yeah, she's playing. So after this, we've got Palini, and then after that is Coco. So she'll be playing later. Mertens up a double break, 3 love. Jeez. So this is the only match that's like doesn't have a break. All right, 400 from Poppy. And Popyrin too strong. Berrettini in the net with a slice. We get the deuce. All right, deuce. Poppy serves again. Great serve down the tee. Return goes into the forehand of Popyrin. Into the slice of Berrettini. Poppy forehand drop shot. Berrettini's going to get up with a slice. Popyrin volley. Berrettini with a forehand off the tape. And then Poppy puts away the forehand. Good hustle from Berrettini, but Poppy just with the extra shot. And it's advantage Popyrin. Advantage Popyrin. If there was a match against Popyrin versus Demonor, would you watch? If it was like a final of a Grand Slam or something, yeah. Or a final of... I wouldn't watch it if it was like before the quarterfinals. If it was a 4th round, probably not. But if it was a quarterfinal or something of a slam, yeah, I probably would. As Popyrin hits a lovely smash. By the way, chat, fascinating here to remind you that Popyrin has a 1,000. Berrettini does not. Popyrin's got Canada. Berrettini's made finals, but he hasn't ever won a 1,000, which is kind of interesting. Popyrin is Australian. Yep. What is my favorite Masters? I like Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo. I like that it's a week, and I like how stacked it is. Like, it always seems to be just super stacked. Atman breaks Bergs 4-2. Ooh. Wait, that's good. For some reason. Why is that good? Why is that good? Who's the winner play? Oh, Caboli. I don't care. Bergs Atman. I don't have Caboli, so it doesn't matter. If you have Caboli, that you'd rather probably play Atman. Novak's playing tomorrow, I think. That was in Popyrin's insane 2024 US swing where he beat Novak. Oh yeah, that was a great. That was still one of my favorite channel moments was when Popyrin wins Canada, and then he goes on and he beats Djokovic at the US Open. That was one of the highlights of this whole channel's history. See, chat, when Australians win, it's great. When they lose, that's the hard part. But when they win, well, we go nuts. Things get crazy. Dasher turn, like choosing Australia to represent, and Popyrin beating Djokovic, two of the greatest moments personally on this channel. Obviously, great moments like Wimbledon final, and French Open last year was great. Obviously, Rafa Djokovic matches have been, we've watched some epics of those. But yeah, Aussie tennis hasn't been good since Rafter. We had Hewitt as well, and Philippoussis. What are you talking about? First serve default Berrettini, 2-1 Popyrin. Popyrin has the same amount of 1000s as Stan, Cilic, and Burdick. That's crazy, and I love it. And Del Potro. Del Potro's only got one as well. Forehand into the forehand of Poppy. Poppy in the net, 15 love. Yeah, I think they were talking about men's tennis. Because on women's tennis, we've had Stosur, we've had Barty, we've had Mollick. We've had a lot of good players over the years. A lot of champions. 15 love. What's my favorite service to play on? Clay. First serve's a fault, second serve. Oh, Berrettini double fault. And it's 15 all. As with a fault, second serve. Rujic is got one break, but I thought you said she was up 4-1 with a break. I read that totally wrong. All right, backhand return goes into the forehand of Berrettini, backhand for Popyrin. Again to the forehand of Berrettini, into the backhand of Poppy. Berrettini forehand again, into the net. And it's 15-30. Weakest era for a reason. All right, 15-30. Chance for Poppy to get the break here. Or a break point, at least. Back in return for Popyrin. Goes long, and it's 30-all. Good serve from Berrettini. All right, 30-all. By the way, chat, after this game, I want to just like put it out there and see what you guys think about it. I don't know if I'm just a thought. Berrettini served in the back of Popyrin. Return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Poppy backhand into the forehand of Berrettini again. The backhand of Poppy. There's Berrettini forehand again to the backhand of Popyrin. Sliced into the forehand of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand on the stretch. Berrettini with a volley in the net. 30-40. Now, for the people that call like an era weak, is it that the era is weak, or is it that there's players in that era that are just dominant? By the way, I don't think it's a weak era because Alcaraz and Sinner are pretty damn good, and they're part of this era too. So how can it be a weak era if Alcaraz and Sinner are so good? As Berrettini survives, deuce, good serve. Players born in the 90s are weak. Okay. Serving to the backhand of Popyrin. Forehand out from Berrettini. Forehand from Poppy. Again to the forehand of Berrettini. Up the line to the backhand of Popyrin. Sliced. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini puts it away. Advantage Berrettini. I feel like weak era is such a. It is. I mean, it is such a negative take too, isn't it? Like it's just like basically saying everyone's crap. It's a nice way of saying everyone sucks, which is totally not true. As a backhand return goes in the forehand of Berrettini, forehand now from Popyrin. As Berrettini forehand up the line, Poppy gets it back with the backhand, slice Berrettini up the line. Popyrin slice forehand in the net, and it's 2-0. Berrettini survives. Because to be honest, I reckon most of this era could probably beat players from 30 years ago. So does that make the 30 years ago weaker, right? The 90s, was that weaker than now? Probably. But does that make it a weak era? No. By the way, Berrettini's dad's in the house as well. I don't think they can call any era weak. We are spoiled because of Big Three, 100%. That is a great take. If you're comparing this era to the last era, that is like comparing any era to the last era is totally unfair. That's like, so the best era of all time, we're never going to have a better era than that. So maybe it's just like disappointment from that. You're still hung up on like the 2010s. You got to move on. Got to move on. 15 love. As a return from Berrettini goes out, 30 love. $30 love. Probably. 30 love. First serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes, a volley of Popyrin. Oh, nice drop volley from Poppy. 40 love. What a great drop volley. $40 love. Mirrors up a double break 5-1. Andreeva's backhand looks terrifying. I thought you said terrible. Terrifying, yeah. All right, first is a fault, second serve. All right, backhand return. Into the slice of Poppy. As Berrettini tries to go for a drop shot, but he hits in the net. Popyrin 3-2. 3-2 Poppy. Do you think Novak has a chance at RG? Yes, if he gets put in the bottom half of the draw. Crazy to think that Alcaraz won't win a Masters tournament. But he won the Australian Open, so who cares? Also, he hasn't pulled out for this whole season. He's still playing. He's playing after Wimbledon in Canada and Cincy at this point. So don't do that yet. He's still got 4 Masters left of the year. All right, 3-2 Popyrin. All right, 3-2. Back to Berrettini. Really interesting to see Nole's form tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow is going to be fun. The return of the GOAT. As it is served in the tee of fault, second serve. As Poppy comes to the net, puts it away. Love 15. Berrettini's serve grip looks like he couldn't possibly hit the ball. Yet he does. Yeah. So whoops. Sorry, man. I mean, he does. I gotta have a look here. I gotta zoom in on his hands because I can't see his hands. It might be because his wrist is bent, but he probably has the same. He would definitely have the same grip as every other serving person. It's just that he might bend his arm, so it looks like his racket is like really weird. There's 100 videos online about it. So you can just watch one of those. I think it's just his wrist. His wrist is he bends his wrist a lot as Berrettini goes 15-30. I think it's just the bent wrist that makes it look really exaggerated, like he's hitting with a weird grip. But I think the grip's actually just... The grip would be totally normal. It's like, yeah, his grip is definitely not... Like, his grip is definitely like this. It's just that he has his wrist like this, I guess. So it looks like, how the hell are you going to hit the serve like that? But he does have his wrist, like he has the grip like this, which is a continental grip, right? So he does have the right grip. It's just that he bends his wrist like this. So it looks really, really weird. And I don't know why he does that, but maybe it's to like disguise where he's going to serve it. That could be a little bit of it. Maybe it's like a bit of a disguise thing. Because if you're going to play against somebody who's going to, with their racket like this, you don't know where the hell they're going to hit it. And then at the last minute, he might go like down the tee. Because the thing is, you got to bend your wrist to open the racket. You never change the grip, right? On your serve. 15-40. Mine are like, but it's very, very. Usually use a wrist to change the face of the grip. Change the face of the racket. Is it a forehand from Berrettini? Backing in from Poppy into the forehand of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand into the forehand of Berrettini. Great shot up the line. Up goes a lob by Popyrin. Berrettini puts away the smash. One saved. Yeah, so like Berrettini has this traditional grip. It's just that he does that. And I guess, again, I think it might be because of disguise. And then when he brings it back... Hang on, I gotta have a look at how he brings it back. I'm doing this left-handed, by the way, so it feels really awkward. Why? Because magic. Movie magic. Berrettini serves again. Into the back of the Popyrin. Return goes to the front of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net. There's the break. So yeah, so like he has his... I think it's just the wrist that makes it look so strange. And then he takes it back, and then when he goes to hit it, he'll bring his he'll hit it like this, or like this, or depending on like what he's going to do with it, right? Obviously, the ball toss will maybe give away where he's going to hit it, but like, yeah, I think it's definitely just because of his wrist. He just starts with a bent wrist at the start. It's got nothing, like he doesn't have any weird grip going on. It just looks weird at the start. Does that make sense? Any questions? 4-2. You look like your profile picture with the racket over your shoulder. Good. That was the point. That's why I got that. That's why I did that profile picture, because it was supposed to be. It was a picture of me with a racket. All right, Poppy gets the first break. 4-2. As it a forehand from Popyrin into the back of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand cross court. Berrettini goes up the line to the back of Popyrin. Berrettini slice. Popyrin lob. Berrettini puts away the smash. Good work from Berrettini. That was a great rally. Yeah, Poppy is a great clay court player. He is super, super solid. Love 15. As with a forehand now to the forehand of Berrettini up the line to the back and a Popyrin. Berrettini forehand again to the back and a Poppy sliced. Berrettini forehand again is a winner. Love 30. Great shot, Berrettini. Love 30. Cam, do you think winning all these? Do you think Sinner winning all these matches, Masters matches, so easily will serve him badly at slams? Where he'll have to play at least 3 sets every match. No. Love 30. As that goes out by Berrettini on the return, 15-30. Serve is a let from Poppy. As Popyrin serves again. Fault second serve. Whenever I pick up a racket, I want to go and hit a tennis ball. Anyone else have that issue? I want to go and have a hit now, but it's 8 p.m. and it's cold and wet outside, so I can't. And it's dark. Popyrin hits an inside out forehand winner. Beautiful shot. I want to play tennis right now. Oh, it's actually Thursday night. They have competition. Maybe I could just rock up and be like, hey, I'll play. Anyone want me to play instead? I'll fill in for somebody. I'll be an emergency. Hey, I'll have a hit, please. 30-all. Play some night tennis. We're taking the stream on the road. Ace down the tee. 40-30. 40-30. Popyrin to go to 5-2. There's a 4-0 from Poppy inside out winner. Beautiful shot, Popyrin. All right, Poppy holds. And it's 5-2 Popyrin in this first set. All right. Yeah, Poppy did beat Casper Ruud last year in Monte Carlo. Huge win. I think he saved match points too, didn't he? I'm a tennis tragic, Cam, and I can't play tennis. That's right. You can be a tennis tragic and watch it. Berrettini legs are skinnier than mine, and I'm not too happy about that. Okay. Shrechina has 73% of first serve against Kecmanovic and didn't hold serve once. He must be just hitting the first serve in soft. Josh!
Morning, Cam. How are you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you, Josh? By the way, Joe, I went to the thrift today. Oh, surprise. Yeah, I did. I went. And I found 7 CDs for $1 each. And they're really good condition. And then I went to another thrift store where they had dollar movies. And I bought 31 movies. I think I spent like maybe $40 today. And I got so much stuff. It's crazy. So much stuff. So many movies. I got season 2 of American Horror Story. That was great. And just like a whole bunch of movies I was looking for too, which was really handy. It's a good day. Thursday's a great day to thrift. It's thrift day. Thursday, thrift day. 5-2. Where did you have time to watch 30 movies? Or when do I have time? I have time. I'll have time later. Later in the year. Back in the net by Berrettini. And it's love 15. Horde Day. You're no fun. American Horror Story is so good. Season 1's the best. Yeah, I got season 1 as well. I think I've seen like season 10 and season 13, I think. But I haven't seen the first couple. So I've got season 1 and 2 now. Great show. All right, 4-4 rally. Berrettini shanks at love 30. 31 movies, yeah. I got the Chappelle Show, season 2. Awesome. Yeah, the Asylum one's supposed to be good.
Poppy, Demon, please make the Roland Garros final.
Thank you for the 2. Well, Popyrin has to play Sinner, and Demon has to be down the bottom against Zverev. And maybe something will happen. Cam, what's your career high ranking? Well, look, I'm number 1 in my book. Love 15. I don't know about career high ranking, but I can tell you, chat, that in the month of April, I can tell you this much. In the month of April being the month of April this year, I can tell you this much, chat. Set points Popyrin. I'll get to that. We'll get into it in a second. We'll get to it soon, in a second. After this point. As Berrettini with a drop shot. It's too good. One save, 15-40. 15-40. 15-40. Still a set point for Popyrin. First serve's a fault, second serve. I'll tell you, Chad, in the month of April, do you want to know what happened in the month of April? Second serve. It's a let. Just make a t-shirt so we can just hold it up. All right, second serve. Into the forehand of Popyrin. Return into the forehand of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand. Into the net. 30-40. 2 saved. Still can't believe you buy CDs to watch movies. No, I buy CDs to listen to music, and I buy DVDs to watch movies. And Blu-rays. I can't buy a CD and then listen and watch it. Well, I mean, I could, maybe. Anyways, backhand return goes in. The forehand of Berrettini. Slice. Popyrin. Drop shot. Berrettini gets it. But hits it wide. Poppy takes the set. 6-2. 6-2. Poppy. Great first set. So, chat, in the month of April 2026, yes.
Doing good getting ready for work. Threw some dollar on the games you're streaming today, so I will be around. American Horror Stories is peak great pickup.
Hey, thank you for the 5. Josh, appreciate that. So, chat, you remember, chat, that in the month, let me just get the stats. 8.1 for Poppy performance rating, 8.0 for Berrettini. Very good quality set. But Popyrin on the serve, unbreakable. Only faced 1 break point, didn't get broken. He broke twice against Berrettini's serve. Great serving from Poppy all round. 9.2 serving quality, shot quality in that first set for Poppy. 7 winners, only 3 errors Popyrin. 10 winners, 8 errors Berrettini. So very good set by both. But Popyrin obviously cleaner on the ground. Now, Chad, if you remember, in the month of March of 2026, we were the number 1 Australian sports YouTube channel with the most concurrent viewers peak concurrent viewership, right? We're number 1. In the month of April, I can now announce back-to-back. We went back-to-back, and we beat out Cricket Australia, the A-League, Football Queensland, the Super Rugby Pacific, Fox Sports Australia, Fox Footy, which are big like TV channels. And we also beat the Collingwood Football Club, so you can get stuffed. Sucked in. And we also beat out the National Rugby League as well. Number 1 sports channel for peak concurrent viewership in Australia for the 2nd month in a row. Let's go, chat. Let's go. We did it. Oh, we did it. And I literally couldn't do it without you guys. So we all did it. It was a joint effort. Back to back, baby. Let's go. Not just tennis, sports. We're going to try and go for 3 in a row now. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll try. We're already behind the A-League, who are number 1. We are currently number 2. So we'll see. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. Wait, are we currently number 1? Could we do a 3-peat? 3-peat? Maybe. Possibly. I think so. We are currently number 1. A week into the month, we're number 1 at the moment. 3, back to back to back. Let's go. 3-peat. 3-peat. Cam's a billionaire. Trust me, bro. If I was a billionaire, I would be at the tennis. I'd be sitting courtside watching this match in Rome, not freezing my ass off in a basement in the middle of nowhere in Australia. All right. 6-2. I'd be shouting one of you with me. I'd be streaming from a plane or something. I mean, come on, bro. You got to think bigger than that. 15 love. Wait, were you serious about that? I thought you were being sarcastic when you told us that last time. What? That in the month of March 2026, that this channel was the biggest live streaming sports channel in Australia on YouTube. No, I was being serious. And I'm serious when I say we were back to back the biggest sports live streaming YouTube channel in Australia in the month of April as well, for concurrent peak viewership in the month of April and March. And we're currently leading in May. All right, 15-all. So chat, we are on fire, is what I'm getting at. We are on fire. You don't get awards for it, but it's just called bragging rights. Bragging rights. And they'll never take that away from us, just like they'll never take away my architecture degree, because I earned that and I paid for it. It was expensive. Actually, I mean, yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, it was expensive. It wasn't cheap. 15-all. I don't use it, but it's in a frame somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Somewhere in this house. I have a certificate. It's right next to my tennis coaching certificate that I also paid for and worked hard for. As Berrettini, it's a passing shot winner. It's 15:30. Berrettini wants that early break. Last month's stats, I thought you were joking this whole time. No. Why would I joke about it? If that was a joke, then it was a very specific, odd joke. Which actually actually tracks. Congrats to us all, chap. We all earned it. Everybody buy themselves something nice. Architecture, you couldn't even build a solid argument. Bro, you can't even tell a joke. 15:30. You call yourself comedian? Pff, that wasn't even funny. 15:30. Second Sir Popyrin. Bro, I'd build your house in a second. With 2 stories.
Cam
Josh.
is peak entertaining that should be on all TVs.
Maybe. Thank you, Josh, for the 2. As Popyrin... Oh, what happened? Did the ball go through the net? No, what happened? Oh, Berrettini's... So Popyrin's vibration dampener, which is this thing here, flew off his racket, and I think it's going to be a let. I don't think there should be a let. Yeah, Berrettini's right. The umpire called a let because this thing flew off Popyrin's racket. That's never a let. He's right. No one's ever been called for a let on that. Yeah, Popyrin's not. Look, Poppy just said it's a let. I'm not going to argue with that. Obviously. So Berrettini asking Popyrin is not the right call because it's not Poppy's call. Now, Popyrin could be like, yeah, look, okay. But I gotta be honest, like, Berrettini's right. I mean, maybe technically it should be called a let, but I've never seen that called a let. I've never seen that called a let because most of the time you don't even see it. The umpire seeing that fly off a racket and calling a let is new to me. I've never seen that. I can understand why it would be called, but I've never seen that be called. How is that a let? I guess it's not a let. I think, okay, so technically I'm going to guess that it is a let, but it's never been called a let. Like the dampener's flown off rackets so many times. Popyrin didn't even notice it. And I don't think Berrettini did either. So why would it be called a let if both players didn't notice? But then again, if a ball falls out the pocket, it's also called a let. But that's also dangerous. That's not dangerous. But I guess if the ball hits the vibration dampener and then deviates off the ground, I don't know. I've never heard that called a let, but I can see why it was called a let. And now Berrettini loses the point. The crowd's getting really angry now. This crowd's getting real vocal now. But how many times have we seen that the vibration dampener has flown off a racket, never been called a let? At least I've never seen it be called a let. And now Berrettini's down 40-30. I mean, he would have been up 15-40. And now Berrettini's still like, what's going on? The crowd's not happy. Very strange. I can see that it would be called a let, though. I can understand what the umpire was, but but it's never been called. I've never heard that. I've never seen that happen. That's never happened once. Yeah, right? I've never seen the vibration dampener. By the way, if it happens again, Popyrin loses the point. Because if it's the same as the ball thing, where the ball falls at your pocket, you can have that happen once. After that, if it happens again, you lose the point automatically. So Poppy can't let his racket fall apart. Really. By the way, that was the difference between 15-40 and then, Popyrin ended up winning the game pretty easily. So that was a big moment for that to happen. Start the second set with a break, Berrettini would have been a massive change. Let me look at the rules. Let me have a look at the rule book here, and I'm sure I can understand that it probably would be a let because it's an object interfering with the play, which is what a let is, right? Or a replay, a hindrance kind of thing, Let me have a look. But yeah, the crowd's not happy about it. Time violation. What's this one? Time violation, okay. Okay, I can't see anything that says... All right, Berrettini wins the point. 30 love. By the way, Berrettini's getting a little pissed off here. And he is... Popyrin didn't get there, and Berrettini just kind of slapped the ball away at him. I guess Berrettini feels like Popyrin had, should have given him that point in the other one. Yeah, I can't see anything that says that. I can't see anything that says Berrettini double faults here, 30-15. All right, here we go. Here are some of the calls. So, the announcer says let if the chair umpire determines that the point should be replayed. So yeah, so calling a let is just when the umpire feels like it's an umpire's call. The chair umpire determines that the point should be replayed. So that umpire obviously felt that the vibration dampener being on the court needed it to be replayed. But I could be honest, I don't think either player really even noticed that it was going to happen. That it happened. All right. 30-0. Berrettini, by the way, if he does get broken here, this is going to be really, really frustrating for everybody. The crowd included. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. As a return from Popyrin goes out, it's 40-30. All right, as a return goes in from Popyrin, Berrettini falling up the line. Popyrin slice. Berrettini comes in with a volley. Poppy gets it, but Berrettini puts it away. All right, 1-1. 1-1. All right, so here's an example of a hindrance case, right? So opponent's gear falls on the court, right? So this is as close as I can see. So here it is. Here is the situation. Clothing or equipment, excluding the racket. So I guess not the racket, but the vibration dampener, I guess, counts, maybe. Including a ball from the pocket, falls onto the court during play. Umpire shall call a let or replay the point. Should also inform the player that makes a second let or lose the point automatically. If a player's shoe falls off and is lying on the court, that is also considered a let and because it's a hindrance to the point. But it doesn't say anything about vibration dampener. Because it says here, clothing or equipment excluding racket that is worn or carried by the player. So like a hat. It says, there's another thing here. It says, as a player is in progress of hitting a volley at the net, his hat falls off and then claims a let for hindrance. But it's not called a let because he hindered himself, which is weird. So, I mean, look, this is part of the racket. So if it's excluding the racket, then it's not a let. Equipment excluding racket. It falls onto the court during play, the umpire shall call a let and replay the point. That's part of the racket though. So how could if it excludes the racket, then it shouldn't be called a let. According to that. Unless that doesn't count as part of the racket, but it is the part of the racket. It's literally on the racket. You wouldn't have it there if it wasn't part of the racket. Weird. Berrettini in the net, 40 love. Anyways, strange decision. 40 love. Why do they have vibration dampers, by the way? So when you hit the ball, the shock of the ball. It's supposed to dampen the vibration, right? So the vibration of when you hit the ball. So when you hit the ball, your arm it sends like a shock through your arm, and it's supposed to just stop that from happening. And people sometimes they have like rubber bands on their rackets. Same thing, right? It's to soften the vibration or the blow of hitting a ball. So that your arm can play tennis for longer and you don't get hurt. Yeah, strange. As far as I can tell, it shouldn't have been called a let. It was a very strange call. By the way, this is they're showing it again. By the way, they for some reason the umpire called it like really late. Did it come off the backhand? Oh, okay. So it was off the backhand of Popyrin, and then she noticed it bouncing onto the court. But I got to be honest, if the players didn't see it, then why call it? Also, Popyrin hit that out because the umpire made a call, not because Berrettini felt like he lost the point because Popyrin hit it out. But I think Popyrin doesn't hit that out if the umpire doesn't make a noise. Because if you just watched it before, you notice that the umpire starts saying let. There's a thing on the court, and then Popyrin mid swing she says let, and he's like what, and then hits it out. So I think she distracted Popyrin, which meant he hit it out. Not the call of let distracted him. And then Berrettini's like, I won the point. What the hell? They should have. It should have probably been a replay because Popyrin probably wouldn't have hit that out had she have not got involved. But she shouldn't have got involved. Yes, there is a little piece of plastic. A little piece of rubber at the net, and Popyrin could theoretically walk up and trip on it, but he didn't even notice it was gone. So. Because I tell you why it's a bit dodgy, chat, is because with these things, right, you can put them you can put them on like half, right? If it's only on like that, like players could mess with it, and I don't know why you'd want to interfere with your own play, but I guess if somebody has like a big serve, I guess you could rig it. I don't know. It seems kind of stupid to try to do that, but I don't know. It just seems like it's never been called before, though. I've never seen it called, which is why we've seen this fly off so many rackets. Now I can't put it back on. It's come off so many players' rackets that we've never had a let called, as far as I can tell. Maybe there is a difference, but I don't know. And it did rob Berrettini, because Berrettini would have been 15-40 had the point played out and he won that point. It would have been 15-40. So and then instead, Popyrin gets a first serve. He serves a big serve. It's 30-all, and then he wins the game, and he's up for 1-love. But I don't know. Never been called, as far as I can tell. As far as I know, unless it has, and I've just missed it. It's the same umpire that called a hindrance from Medvedev Bublik match. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear what Berrettini's take on it will be. By the way, Popyrin did nothing wrong because it wasn't up to him to call, him to give the point away. Because to be honest, she interrupted him too. So why would he give the point up if Berrettini gets to 4-2-0? Berrettini asking Popyrin, did that distract you? And he'd be like, I don't know, but she called a let during my swing. He got distracted by her getting involved, which is why he hit it out, right? He can claim that. So, a small dampener is so small, I feel like you could barely notice it. I don't understand how it is a let. Yeah. Well, she wouldn't have seen it had it not have gone all the way to the net. Had that have gone flying sideways, she wouldn't have seen it on the baseline. She wouldn't have called a let. She only called the let because she saw it right in front of the net, right? It flew into the service box. Had it have gone sideways, she wouldn't have seen it. And she wouldn't have called it. It was only because it like was in her vision. So, yeah. By the way, Berrettini's just grabbed his knee. Oh no, 15 love. Berrettini's just starting to limp. Berrettini's limping around. What happened? Oh no, not again. Yeah, Berrettini, he went for the forehand. Really nothing happened and he just kind of grabbed his knee. Yeah, Berrettini just kind of like literally hit a forehand or a backhand and grabbed his knee. And now Berrettini's struggling to move. 30 love. Exactly, but even if it's at the net, they're not going to steam towards the net at speeds that would affect it. That would be affected by it. Yeah. I feel like if Popyrin put his hands in the air and was like, "I've lost my vibration dampener midpoint," maybe there's a different conversation. But I don't think he even noticed it. So like, and didn't distract Berrettini. I don't think either player knew that what happened. Anyways, volley goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Volley from Popyrin is in the net, 30-15. Anyways, it will be interesting to hear. I'm sure both players will be asked about it. But now we're just going to remember, chat, that is called a let. So if it happens again, we're going to see if it gets called a let. Because if they call it a let from now on, every time it happens, then I've got no problem with it. It's just when it randomly comes up and I'm like, hang on, this has been happening for years. We've never heard this call. So we'll see. Berrettini seems all right now. As a forehand now goes wide by Popyrin. 30-all. And, Berrettini's had that many injuries that the second he feels pain, he's probably going to be like, oh no, what's happened? But then it might be a false alarm. And I think he's okay now. Didn't look very... Andreeva's up at 1-6 love. Damn. But Berrettini seems okay. Thank God. 30-all. As a return goes into the forehand of Popyrin. Great shot, Poppy. 40-30. Great forehand. 40-30. Nice hitting from Popyrin. Big shout from Poppy after that one too. All right, 40-30. As the return goes out by Berrettini. Popyrin 3-2 in the second. Andreeva on a mission. Yeah. Andreeva wins the French? Is she the favorite for the French? Well, maybe. She might be becoming the favorite. How much to like what if like is she third favorite? She must be, right? She's got to be third favorite. Do we put that on her, though, being the favorite? Because I feel like if she's the favorite, that's probably a bad thing. Like, she'd probably be better off not being the favorite. Right? Like, it's probably better if she's just like, third favorite under the radar slightly. Being the favorite might be a bad idea. So Sinner's the favorite for the men's. No surprise. And it goes, Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff, Andreeva, Raducanu. Sabalenka, Swiatek almost equal favorites. And then Gauff, Andreeva, Raducanu pretty much equal second. Okay. The problem with Andreeva, though, she's never made a final of a slam. Even like, so is she going to make a final and win her first try? She hasn't even made a semi before, has she? Has she made a quarterfinal of the Slam? She has once, right? She made the quarters of Wimbledon, right? So like it's I feel like it's a pretty big ask to go, you know what? She's made a couple of semi of a French. She made the semis of the French back in 4. Oh, I forgot that she beat Sabalenka. And last year she struggled against Boiseau, but then last year she was struggled a lot. I think with expectations, right? She wins Rome though. I mean, shit. She might be the favorite. Especially if she beats some of those players I mentioned along the way. All right, backing up the line from Popyrin. Berrettini gets it back. Poppy forehand inside out. Berrettini slice. Popyrin volley. Berrettini slice. Popyrin slice. Berrettini backhand into the net. Love 15. Yeah, I know Sabalenka was sick that day too. So, with the day she lost to Andreeva. Bozo's ranking is about a heck of hit after Roland Garros, yeah. Great serve, Berrettini. 15 all. All right, so Andreeva won 6-1-6 love. Zhang won the first set against Buksha. 7-6. Did Tabilo play yesterday or today? Yesterday. Okay. All right, Berrettini makes an error, 15-30. Tell you what, chat. Poppy is winning. Which I am totally fine with. Atman's serving for the match against Bergs. Wow. That's a bit of a surprise. That is a surprise. They played yesterday? Okay. 15-30. Serve to the backhand of Popyrin. Berrettini forehand up the line. Behind Poppy. Nice shot. 30-0. Someone made a good point recently. Last year, Gauff lost in the final in Madrid and won Roland Garros. Maybe Mirra replicates that. Yeah, but also Gauff made the final of Rome. So if Mirra makes a good run in Rome and makes the semis or whatever, then maybe, yeah. Maybe she could win the French. But also Coco she's already been to a French Open final and she'd also won a US Open. So she knew how to do it. A little bit different to somebody who's going to make a first final, right? A little bit, lot tougher to try and win on your first try. 30-40, break point for Poppy. That man's been solid on clay. I know, right? His serve is working. 30-40, break point. Berrettini serves. A fault. Second serve. I think, Neil, I think Andreeva, if she is going to win Roland Garros, it's probably going to be as an underdog. Like having to play like Sabalenka, Raducanu, and Swiatek, Gauff. As that goes off the tape into the forehand of Berrettini. Back into Popyrin. Into the back into Berrettini. Is Popyrin with a forehand into the forehand of Berrettini. To the back into Popyrin. Probably hits it wide and it's deuce. I think if Andreeva becomes the favorite, and we kind of saw that a little bit in Madrid. I know Kostyuk's been playing great though. But I think if Andreeva's gonna win this French Open, it might be like Keys at Australian Open last year, right? Where it's like she's gonna play against like, Swiatek, Raducanu, or let's say Gauff, Raducanu, and Sabalenka to make the final, or to win the title. I think that's because then if she loses, there's no pressure on her because she's not supposed to beat those players anyway. so she could maybe win as an underdog like that. I think if she's the favorite, as Poppy hits a beautiful lob and it's advantage Popyrin. I think if she's the favorite and she plays like lower ranked players, like outside the top 10, and the pressure's on her and everyone's like, you're going to make a final for the first time, I think that might be really bad for her. You know, it might be a real, like the expectation might be really tough, especially because she hasn't made a final before. So that's, you know. But we'll wait until the draw comes out because I think that's where the tournament will make so much more sense. On the women's side. On the men's side, it's like, who's Djokovic going to play? Where's Sinner? You know, is Sinner Djokovic semi-final or final? That's the only thing we really care about, I think, on the men's side at the moment. It's like, who, you know, where does Djokovic stand? As Popyrin hits a great return, and that goes out by Berrettini, and Poppy is on fire! 4-2 Popyrin. Chat, what the hell is going on? Popyrin is on fire. And he's up a set and a break. Is this going to be the greatest day ever? Is this going to be a great day, chat? Are we watching the greatest day of the week? It is Thrift Day after all. 4-2. Yeah, Poppy is unleashing. 4-2. Popyrin, 2 games away from beating Berrettini and taking on Menchik. I'm not going to say it. Forehand goes out by Popyrin, love 15. I'm not going to say it. But I'm thinking it. I'm going to think it, but I'm not going to say it. All right, love 15. But I am thinking it. Popyrin always wins when you watch him? True. When have we ever watched Popyrin lose? So you're saying I'm good luck? There's no such thing as a curse? Is that what you're saying? Great Sir Poppy, 15-0. Yeah, I don't remember watching Popyrin lose much. We've definitely watched a lot of Demon Ore losses, which hurt my soul. But we have definitely watched... I feel like when we watch... Wait, hang on, let me check. We've watched Popyrin 20 times on the channel. We watched him play first round French Open back in 2021 against Rafa. Hurkacz 23 quarterfinal at Cincy. Davis Cup against Rinaldi. I think he lost that. Australian Open, he lost to Djokovic in 24. We watched him play Wimbledon 24. Djokovic, he lost as well. He lost to Tiafoe in 20 US Open. We watched him play Draper. We watched him play Zverev last year. I know he lost last year. We did watch him play Sinner a couple of times. Doha this year as well. Oh, so we watched him lose in Doha. Yeah, because every time... we haven't watched Popyrin beat Sinner yet. He lost pretty badly in the US Open last year to Sinner. 3-2-2. And then he did push Sinner in the second set of Doha this year, but he was still lost in straights. 2-1 Sinner, though. But Poppy's won the clay match 5 years ago. Just saying. Anyways, 30-0. The cam curse is real. Bro, stop pretending like you go to Hogwarts, all right? Stop cosplaying as Harry Potter, right? Comic-Con's not on this weekend, right? 30-0. Come on now. As the return goes into the corner. Poppy hits it a winner, 40-30. I reckon if I had to work out all the Popyrin win, I reckon we've watched Popyrin win more than lose. And we've definitely watched Demon Ore lose more than win. Mainly because we watched him play Sinner like 10 times. And Alcaraz. And Djokovic. And Nadal. It's been a nightmare. And Federer. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. Now I've been saying this for years. Popyrin was always the perfect mix of Kyrgios Demon Ore. As with a slice, goes out by Poppy and it's deuce. And I feel like Popyrin is what everyone wanted Kokkinakis to be. And unfortunately, Kokkinakis just got super injured, right, all the time. But Poppy's got the stature of Keegs, right? He's got the serve. He's 6'4" or whatever. But he has the demeanor of Demon, right? And that's what Kokkinakis has got, right? Kokkinakis is he's got the game of Kyrgios, but he's got the Demon mentality. But his body falls apart, But Popyrin is also like he's got the weapons, but he's also got, he's got that mentality, the Demon, that dog in him, right? Which is why it was no surprise when he won on 1,000. I'm like, yeah, this is Demon, but 6'4". This is a 6'4" Demon over the serve. Like this is if he stays healthy, Popyrin's legit. As he hits it in the net, Berrettini advantage Popyrin. By the way, I tell you, Berrettini's dad's he must have 0 nails. He bites his fingers off. Give that man a vape. Where the hell is that guy? Get his vape. He's just like biting off his thumb. He must have no thumbnail. He's constantly either biting his nails or blowing smoke. It's crazy. All right, Poppy with a let. I always thought that one day de Minaur would win a match against Sinner, but he hasn't cracked the code yet. But a lot of people in that boat, yeah. I mean, de Minaur, yeah. Sinner is exactly what de Minaur... But Sinner loves the way the de Minaur plays. Like, it's perfect for Sinner. He doesn't have to rush. He's not going to get overpowered, so he can just take his time, and he just gets the perfect ball all the time. Poppy hits it out. Deuce. Which sucks to if that's why Demon, I feel, always has a better chance against Alcaraz, because you just never know the day that Alcaraz decides to, throw so much power behind shots and make so many errors. Like, we've seen that with, Alcaraz has those days, right? Where he'll just try and rip the ball and nothing works. But with Sinner doesn't make bad decisions when he plays Demon. Atman beats Bergs. That's huge. That is huge. That's why I never want to see de Minaur play Sinner again. I'd rather him play Alcaraz for the rest of time. He's got a way better chance against Alcaraz. Not a way better chance. A way better chance against Alcaraz than Sinner. But he doesn't have I'm not saying he has a better chance against Alcaraz in general. Like, he probably still gets... he lost badly this year. But I think Demon's game matches up way better against Alcaraz than Sinner. And the more he plays Alcaraz, the more chances he'll get to beat Alcaraz one time, at least. I don't know how he's ever going to beat Sinner. Unless Sinner has a bad day, which never happens. Drop shot is good by Poppy, and then Berrettini slices it wide. Popyrin's got 5-2. This is a pleasant surprise. I did not expect this at all. This is not what I thought was going to happen today. I was like, oh, Berrettini, I'm resigned to the fact Berrettini's going to win in straights. Or in 3. And he still might, but he's not. At the moment, he's not. Poppy's one game away from shushing this crowd, who are literally, it's a packed stadium. This is great. Chat, this is a great day for Australian tennis. We're back. Poppy's been a beast. He hasn't been a beast lately, though, has he? I thought Poppy's been on a terrible losing streak. Did I miss something? Did Poppy win something last week that I didn't? No, Poppy's been losing. Poppy hasn't won a match since Houston, where he beat Mickelson in 3. He lost first round to Ruud in Madrid, Monte Carlo. He lost first round to Dam in Madrid. Houston was Clay as well, so he lost to Tiafoe and Clay, saving a match point. Sorry, Tiafoe saved a match point and won. But yeah, he's on a 3-match losing streak. He lost both Indian Wells and Miami first rounds. He lost in Dubai to Menchik, who will play next if he wins. He lost to Sinner in Doha. He lost to FAA. I mean, Popyrin was horrible to end last year. He won first round US Open and then didn't win a match until Doha this year. That's like 6 months of losing. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 losses in a row. to end last year and start this year. Poppy was terrible. His best result lately has been the Canadian quarterfinals where he lost to Zverev. And then he went on this horrendous losing streak. In the last 12 months, so let me get, since Wimbledon last year, let's go from there, right? Since Wimbledon last year, where he lost to Ferry in the first round. He's not really a grass guy, Poppy, but still, should have won that one. So since Wimbledon last year to now, he has 9 wins, 20 losses. That's horrendous. Since Wimbledon last year, Poppy's 9 wins, 20 losses. I'm surprised his ranking's still 60. I mean, that's the record of a... I mean, he was 20 in the world when he started to lose. He was 22 in the world at Wimbledon last year. Popyrin must have some points coming up that he has to save because his ranking, he's playing like a guy who's close to 100, and that's what Berrettini is. Berrettini's 100 right now. Like there must be points that happened last year that I'm missing, right? Canadian quarterfinal, Roland Garros 4th round, Geneva quarterfinal. All right, so the Roland Garros 4th round is where the points are. And Geneva quarters next week is also something to worry about. Yeah, Poppy 12, like 6 months ago, he was number 19 in the world. Career high ranking. 6 months ago. Or just over 8 months ago. It was all looking great. We were going to have 2 top 10 guys. And that Demon's on a terrible streak and Poppy... Why can't they both win at the same time? Now Demon's on a terrible streak and Poppy's coming back today. All right, Berrettini double false 30-15. Kecmanovic wins. Oh, yeah, nice. 30-15. Berrettini was a big favorite. Yeah. Should have put $5 on Poppy. Backhand goes into the forehand of Popyrin. To the slice of Berrettini. Popyrin, forehand again. There's Berrettini on the stretch with a passing shot winner. Beautiful shot, Berrettini, 40-15. I wasn't referring to his win-loss record. I just mean that he's a tough player to beat. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you meant like he's been a beast. Like, lately. You meant in general he's a beast. I concur. All right. As the return goes out and Berrettini holds, Poppy's going to serve for this match. 5-3. 5-3. Popyrin trying to get this win. All right. Here we go. Poppy serves. Fault. Second serve. There's a return. Goes in the forehand of Popyrin. Forehand from Berrettini up the line. Popyrin runs around his backhand. Hits the forehand to the slice of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand again to the backhand of Berrettini. Up the line from Berrettini. Poppy goes cross court with a forehand. Berrettini gets it. Poppy backhand again to the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net. And Popyrin just caught Berrettini off balance with a smart backhand. All right. Good serve, Poppy. Forehand inside out at the slice of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net. And it's 30-love. 30-love. Poppy was tired of losing and wanted to reserve that today. I wanted to reverse that today. Probably will have to serve it out to finish this straight. Well, he's 2 points away. 30-love. Serve again. Into the back of Berrettini. Return goes out. 40-love. Popyrin's got match points. I think Popyrin's mum's in the house too. I think that's the lady they keep showing. Or just a very excited fan. All right. Poppy serving for the match. 40-love. He serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the back end of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand goes wide. All right. That was anticlimactic. 40-15. One saved. From, I guess it was saved by Berrettini. All right. Still match point here for Poppy. $40-15. By the way, chat, we're almost at 200 likes. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Serve is another fault. Okay. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Popyrin forehand inside out. Goes long. Two saved. 40-30. 40-30. Two saved. All right. Match point number 3. Serve out wide as a let. Okay. All right. Poppy serves again. Match point number 3. Says a fault. God, can he just please have a first serve? God damn it. Second serve. Serve to the forehand of Berrettini. Return goes into the forehand of Popyrin up the line. Berrettini backhand pass. Winner! This can't happen. By the way, Berrettini just hit the best backhand of his life. Excuse me. I was told you didn't have a backhand. How the hell did you do that? Matteo Berrettini has a backhand. Huh? All right, he saves 3 match points. What? That was the best backhand he's ever hit. I've never seen Berrettini hit a backhand like that. That was like a Sinner backhand. All right, deuce. Oh, there's the ace. Oh, down the tee. Match point number 4. There's the serve. Hey, there we go. That's more like it. All right. Match point number 4. Just saving it for the clutch times. Okay. Match point number 4. Popyrin. Serve. A fault. Second serve. Into the back of the Berrettini. Poppy backhand. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net. There it is. Popyrin wins. Poppy's back, baby! Ha ha! What a win! What a win! And they're just making sure that everything's all good. They're like, hey, bro, we're good, we good? They're good. The crowd is stunned. They don't know what to do. By the way, packed stadium. Popyrin giving a little bit of a wave. The crowd are like, yeah, all right. Whatever. Woo! Popyrin wins! What a great way to start the day. Technically, it's already been started, but I've been awake since midday. But that's 8 hours ago. But it's fine. Whatever. That's a great way to start the streams. Poppy wins. Popyrin plays Menchik. Ooh. Winner to play Sinner. Ooh. The crowd goes mild. They go wild for Berrettini. By the way, love that there's a packed stadium at like 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, that is awesome. They obviously didn't get the result they wanted, but still, great crowd attendance for the first match of the day. I guess because it was raining yesterday. Maybe that's why nobody showed up. Whereas today, they know it's not going to rain. So, also Italians are playing, so maybe that's a difference too. Paolini's playing on that court next, so it's a bit of an Italian. Well, of course, it's Italian center court, and then Coco later. But great win for Popyrin. That is so good. Chat, Australians haven't had much to cheer about when it comes to tennis lately because De Minaur's our best, and he's been losing, and none of the others have been doing. We're not good on clay. We're not very good on clay, so it's great to see Poppy get a win. Love that. Love that. Poppy is one of my. Well, all the Aussies are my favorite, but I love watching Popyrin. Like I said, he's given us some of the best moments of this channel, specifically when he beat Djokovic at the US Open. That was epic. All right. Poppy with a 7.6. Yeah. He let himself down a little bit towards the end, but, man, that was the best performance by Popyrin in a while, yeah. Yeah, so and it sucks for Berrettini. I mean, look, it was a shit draw, right? It was a tough draw. You're playing a solid clay court guy. You know, that's what Poppy is. He can play on clay. Maybe not a clay court guy, but he's definitely a capable clay court player. Tough draw. Even if Berrettini had one, Menchik next round, then Sinner, Berrettini got kind of a bit screwed with the draw. He could have been put anywhere in the draw, and he got put sort of in that weird spot. So, yeah, Berrettini's playing next week, though. I think he's playing one of the challenges. And he did make the quarters of the challenge event last week, lost to Hurkacz. So he's been good, Berrettini. The main thing for Berrettini, though, is that he stays fit, right, and healthy. As long as he doesn't get injured, then even though he lost this match, he got through it without getting injured. So that's a positive. There's a little bit of a sketchy situation in the middle, but yeah. It will be interesting to hear what both players have to say about that the call, though, because that was a very strange call by the umpire. A good day for you, Cam. Getting top tennis channel and Poppy wins. Yeah. And I found like 35 movies at the thrift for $1 each. And I found a bunch of CDs, including a CD I was actually looking for a while. So it's actually been a very great day. It's been an awesome day. Ultra successful day. We've had a good day. And then we've still got plenty of tennis too. By the way, chat, we're almost at 150 likes. Appreciate that. Don't forget to like the video on the way out. Zheng and Mertens won. Yep. So Zheng just won. Now we're waiting. We're going to wait for Gauff to come on after Paolini. So wait, hang on. So Gauff comes on after Paolini. Tsitsipas comes up after Bellucci and Buracharja, but they're playing after Tomanovic, who has to finish her match from yesterday. So that might be on a little bit later. And then when is Penko playing? So Penko is playing after Joint, who's after Puricar, who have just finished? No. Just started? Maybe? Anyways. And then Sabalenka's playing like tonight. Late. 35 movies, nice. What are some of the best ones you found? So I've been looking for The Elephant Man, David Lynch film. Found that. That was the big find of the day. The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. That's another one I was looking for. Found that one. So they were probably the two big ones that I found today. Others were just kind of like ones that I have seen but I haven't gotten. Or that I've seen out in the thrift but I hadn't picked up. But $1 each, I was like, load up. I'm really scared about tennis with Alcaraz injury. Sinner already seemed to have the upper hand against him lately. Him winning so easily, Zverev shows how easy he has it currently. So why are you scared for tennis? Why are you scared about tennis? Watch WTA. Trust me. If you're scared about Sinner making tennis making tennis too easy or whatever, then watch WTA. Trust me. If you watch WTA is in a totally different place when it comes to, who's dominating, who's not. Sinner's like 0-4 Federer. Well, I know. And I remember watching tennis back in then. I made the same comparison the other day. We're watching currently with Sinner, with Alcaraz out, we're watching mid-2000s Federer, where he beat everybody easily. And it was really boring. So, yeah, watch the WTA, trust me. I prefer men's tennis. And look, no, respect that. But also, trust me, WTA is a lot more competitive, especially when it comes to like top players. So like, if you're kind of sick of one guy just like winning everything, watch the WTA, because Sabalenka's winning a lot, but she's not unbeatable, which is what makes it more interesting. Sinner says Hadar has lots of potential. He does. For sure. But also, and I'm not saying that Sinner's just saying these things because he has to, but Sinner's never going to say anything other than that. Like, Sinner's never going to be like, nah, he's all right. Sinner's always going to be giving glowing reviews to the local. There's no chance Sinner would be like, oh, what do you think of Hodar's potential? He's not going to go, no, he's all right. Like, he's going to be like, oh, he's great. He's going to be a champ. Like, of course he's going to say that. But also he is. So Sinner's no lies detected there. I feel like it's always so silly to ask like Alcaraz and Sinner about like the potential of other players, because what are they going to say? They're never going to be like, no, they're actually terrible. Like, they're not going to bash anyone. So I feel like asking Sinner and Alcaraz a question about another player, even if they ask about each other, they're never going to talk shit. They're always going to give each other and give everybody else like glowing reviews. They're not going to turn around and go, nah, Hodar, he's overrated. Like, they're never gonna do that. So yeah, so Sinner saying that is great, and I love that, and Sinner's very nice for saying that, and it's true. We all think that too, right? We all think Hadar's legit. But what do you expect him to say? Of course he said that. Like, nobody's going to say, like, you need to ask somebody who's I don't know. It's also, why ask Sinner why are we asking Sinner and Alcaraz about the guys who are behind them? Like, oh, what do you think of the guys that are like, trying to take your trophies? And Sinner's like, yeah, they're really good. They're good. Like, he doesn't. What do you think of your competition? They're great. Like, he has to say that, otherwise he'll get bashed. Bashed in online, not in real life. Like, I feel like there's always so silly questions when they ask. When I hear other players getting asked about other players, I'm like, they're never going to come out and talk trash, even though like that would be way more fun. I would love it if like somebody was like, oh, what do you think of Hadar? And he's like, they turn around and they just went, yeah, he's all right. Not that good. Like, but I beat him though. Straight sets though. Like, he's not as good as me. Like, that would be way more fun. But nobody's going to say that, because they'll just get absolutely slammed online. So that everyone has to be nice. You know what I mean? I mean, even Zverev, putting himself in the same bracket as Alcaraz got people annoyed. Like, he didn't even say that he didn't even say anything that bad. But I mean, can you imagine if he turned around and went, yeah, Alcaraz sucks, like, or anybody says anybody sucks, like, oof. The internet would go crazy. Because let's be honest, we're going to say what Sinner can't say because he's too nice. He is kicking everyone's ass, and he's better than everybody. And yes, Hadar's great, and Fils is great, and Fonseca's great, but Sinner's better. Like, right? I mean, we'll say the thing that, and I love all those guys, right? I'm massive fan of Fonseca. We love Fils. We've been getting to know Hodar, but Sinner shows that he's like superior. by a mile. Maybe not by a mile against Fons, but hopefully they play again, so we'll see what happens next time. But Sinner's never going to say that about himself. He's too nice, too humble. Which kind of puts them in a bad position, because what if they ever decide to then give themselves some props? Then they will become across as arrogant. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. If Sinner ever, or even Alcaraz, ever in their careers talk about how, like, yeah, I am pretty good at tennis, they're going to get slammed, because that's not, like, they've been humble for so long. You know what I mean? So they're kind of putting themselves in a awkward position if they ever decide to give themselves some credit, which they deserve to brag about their achievements. They're awesome. But so many people are going to call them arrogant if they don't say the nice thing, right? But that's why I like Shelton, right? He just says whatever. And people think he's arrogant. He doesn't give a shit. You know, he's like, I don't care. I don't care what you say. And Feast as well. I love the way that he goes about it too. Aren't you scared that, and Fonseca as well. I love how he respects, but he also doesn't fear. Cam, aren't you scared as well how Alcaraz will come back? I feel like he is playing style and his wrist like that. I'm actually really concerned on if he will come back 100% again. I think you shouldn't be so worried. I'm not a doctor, but I also think you should be a little, like, I think he's doing the right thing by not playing right now, because if he kept playing, it might get worse, and then it might be irreparable or irreversible, right? So I don't think, like, okay, yes, he might come back and he might have a Dominic team career where he doesn't come back the same. Or he could come back, and because he's rested early, he could be fine. He could recover quicker. So I don't think we should be like, wait until he comes back. When he comes back, then we can see, oh shit, he doesn't look the same. Also, when he comes back, he's not going to look the same straight away anyway, because he's going to be rusty. So, like, even if he doesn't come back for 6 months, he's going to be rusty. So, like, all those things that you're fearing, worry about them when he comes back, and then you watch him and go, oh no, he doesn't look like him. Same with Rune's foot. Like, I've been watching Rune train in some of his social posts, and Rune doesn't look very fluid at the moment. He doesn't look like he's moving very well, and which makes me think, like, oh shit, he's coming back in 2 weeks. But obviously he's allowed to, because the doctors would say no if he wasn't. But he doesn't look like, Rune kind of looks a little stiff, but that could be because he hasn't played, or he's cautious because he's he's had a serious injury. Same with Alcaraz, right? Whenever he comes back, yes, the wrist is delicate, the wrist is, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think don't get so scared about him coming back. Wait until he comes back, and then watch, and then decide. And then go, oh shit, he's not. I mean, Zverev came back from a horrific ankle injury. And it took him like 6 months to get, like, he dropped down the rankings. He was then, losing a little bit, but we kind of gave him, we gave him a chance to recover. And then now look at him. Now he's one of the most consistent players on the ATP. What's wrong with Alcaraz's wrist? I don't know if he's specifically mentioned if it's, I don't know, maybe I've missed that. Did he say, like, what part of the wrist, or did he just say, my wrist, I need a rest? I don't know if he's gone into detail about it. But yeah, look, I think I've said this before. He's coming back at Queen's Club. That's his plan. If he delays his comeback, then worry. If he goes into surgery, then worry. But until he comes back, until then, he's coming back after the French. He'll be back, and then, so he's coming back in like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. No, 4 weeks. No, less than that. Hang on, what day is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 weeks. 5.5 weeks. What's wrong with Alcaraz's wrist? He hurt his wrist in Barcelona and has like a guard and stuff, and has to rest. But yeah, don't worry about Alcaraz unless he has to get surgery on the wrist, which is super serious, right? Or he delays his comeback and he's like, well, I'm not playing Wimbledon now. Then it's like, oh, shit, okay. Now it's getting a little sketchy. Now it's worrying. If he keeps, pushing back the comeback, because it means he needs more time to heal, more time to rest. That's not good. But ankle is easier to recover than wrist. Wrist is the worst for a tennis player. Okay. What do you want me to say? I feel like do you want me to say that he'll never be the same and the Alcaraz era is over and we should all cry? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I feel like you're just like, do you want me to say like the most negative part of it? Like, do you want me to go down? Because I'm optimistic. No, I meant it's very, very serious. That's why he's not playing right now. That's why he's taken the time off now, in the middle of like his height. Like he was, not as high as Sinner is right now, but I mean, he just made the Monte Carlo final. He was like, he wouldn't have taken off three big tournaments in a row in the middle of there's 4,000 points there, right? He wouldn't have done that had he have not taken this seriously. So yeah, it is serious, but he's doing the right thing to get back as quickly as he can. He might have played with this problem or tried to play with this problem. That would have been bad. Had he have been like, oh no, I'll try and play the French. That would have been a bad idea. But like, he's taking this seriously. So you should be excited. You should be happy that, okay, yeah, it's not great that he has to pull out of Roland Garros, but the fact that he's taking this so seriously for his longevity, that's a good thing. And yeah, short term, I don't get to watch him play the French. Might not get to watch him play Wimbledon. But if it means that we get to watch Alcaraz play until like 35 or 30 into his 30s, then that's a good thing. And we won't even remember this time. Just like we never talk about Zverev's ankle injury, he was off for 6 months or longer than that. But now that he's playing, we don't talk about his injury ever. Actually, ever. Like, no one talks about Zverev's injury ever. We all forgot about it. Because he came back and we're like, okay. And he's now here. And we're like, okay. So, like, he's doing the right things by not playing right now to hopefully come back as soon as possible. But don't stress. Start stressing if the recovery is taking longer. Don't just go, wrist injury, oh no, it's Dominic Thiem 2.0. Like, that's not... There can be different types of injuries. Different injuries. Right? Rublev had back injuries back in the day in like 2018, and he recovered somehow from that. Right? I mean, Feast had back problems last year, and look at him, he's flying. Like, there's been serious injuries. There are lots of injuries. All injuries should be serious, right? But like, yeah, don't stress about Alcaraz. Just, he's only been away for like 2-3 weeks, right? He's only been gone for like 3 weeks, and he hasn't had surgery, as far as we know, and he hasn't put out of any other tournaments. So that's what we wait. We go, okay, good. Maybe he's healing if he hasn't had to go into surgery or anything. But I'm thinking about tennis overall, that there was it was a top 2 for the last 3 years, but now there's a top 1 like Federer 4. So you're worried about tennis. Like I said, watch WTA. If you're worried about tennis because Sinner's too dominant, watch WTA. Also, you're assuming that no one's going to step up. like Sinner's not going to rule the world with Alcaraz gone for like 5-10 years. Like, somebody is going to step up. It always happens. Someone's going to catch Sinner slipping. Like, it's going to happen. Like, it hasn't happened recently. I don't want to watch WTA. Stop telling me that one. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. What do you want me to do? I'm not a magician. I can't make Alcaraz's wrist better and make him come back earlier. I can't make players play better. I sit in a basement. What do you want for me to do? Why are you complaining? You're yelling at me, going at me. What do you want from me? I can't help you. What am I drinking? That was tea. Tell me, Cam, help me. I don't know. Go watch Arsenal win the championship or whatever. Or the Champions League and the Premiership. Go watch Arsenal win. There we go. There you go. That'll make you feel better. Go watch Harry Potter. Or something. I don't know. You want to watch Wizardry? Anyways, I'm out of here. We're gonna wait for the Paolini match before we watch Coco. And then we've also got Tsitsipas coming up. Paris should win. That was the wrong answer. Wrong answer. I thought you didn't show Aussies, but your Aussie won. Well, I changed my mind today. But we're not watching any more Aussies. Maybe Menchik. Maybe Popyrin, Sinner. Maybe. Probably. Yes, definitely. Because we have to watch Sinner. Hang on, I'm just looking at the schedule. So we've got what are we doing? So yeah, Paolini plays now, then Coco. Tsitsipas plays after Bellucci and Burachaja, but they're not even started yet, so we've got to wait for that to finish. We'll probably have to do a double header for that, but that's fine. Sabalenka plays in like 7 hours, so we're all good. So I'll send you over to the Coco match, and then we'll go from there. Oh, God, how is my back sore? And I just got here. Why is everyone obsessed with your beverage? Because it doesn't look like tea, but it's tea. I don't know what it looks like, but it's tea. So I don't know. I guess people just get confused. My son is an Arsenal fan, even though we are Northerners. Well, he sounds like a great, smart person. He sounds smart. I think we'd be friends. China has such a thick head of hair. Yeah, he does. No need to go worst case scenario right now. Exactly. Alcaraz is resting, and he's coming back in 6 weeks, right? And you don't think he'll be coming back hungrier than ever. And when he comes back, he'll be celebrated, because by then, Sinner would have done so many things, and everybody would be like, come on, we need... Like, Alcaraz's fan base, he'll get so many more fans, because... I mean, this is very similar like Rafa 06. At start of 06, where Rafa had to pull out because he got injured, right? Because remember, Rafa 05 broke out, and then Rafa 06, early 06, I don't think he played, did he? And then it was all Federer. But then there was also Nabandian. So maybe 06 is not the right. It was Rafa pre-Federer. So Federer pre-Rafa is kind of like Sinner without Alcaraz. But yeah, like he didn't play the Australian Open that year, and Federer won. So we're kind of in that situation where it's like, no Rafa, Federer wins. No Alcaraz, Sinner wins. But we just need an Albandian to come along and just, shake things up a bit. Anyways. Hopefully, hopefully either somebody steps up or more people step up in Alcaraz's absence, or we just keep watching history, which either way, it's kind of a win-win. Anyways, Coco, she's coming up against Valentova. Ooh, it's going to be a good match. Coco needs to win because she has a lot of points to defend. And Valentova had a really good win yesterday against Putintseva. So I'll see you guys soon. And then we've got Tsitsipas Mahatch. And then tonight we've got Sabalenka versus Krejcikova, which is also a fun matchup. So I'll see you guys in maybe an hour and a bit, maybe, depending on the Paolini match, which just begun. So we'll see. Paolini needs a win, by the way, for that crowd as well, because they just saw Berrettini lose. Popyrin gets the win, 2-3, one of the best wins he's had against a good opponent like this in a while. It's a huge win for him, even though Berrettini's ranking's not where it should be. Still a good win for beating Berrettini in Rome is a huge win. For Poppy, he takes on Menchik next. I'll see you guys soon.